Good. Recording, video. Welcome back to our channel, guys. I want to thank you for following our journey, following along everything that we do here at the shop. Today, we got something really special. Now, we have a Tacoma, another Tacoma, and you guys know we're a Toyota shop. And what makes this one different? Well, this is a pretty intense spec build. So the truck is on the rack right now, so it's a work in progress. Everything's just kind of taken apart, but there's a lot of details, a lot going on, so let's follow along. All right, so first and foremost, this build is gonna be set up with 74 weld portal axles, and those are gonna be paired with 40-inch tires. Now, everything else is gonna be done on this build is kind of gonna be oriented around that sort of fitment. So to start things off, we dug into the front suspension. Now, when we say dug in, we literally eliminated the front factory IFS. So this is the front cross member. We cut everything out, everything's been removed, and we have all these new shiny parts installed. Now, this is what's called a pivot kit from JD Fabrication. Now, what this thing does is it relocates all your pivot points in a different location. So you have your lower control arms that sit here. Now, all those mounts have been cut off, and there's new huge burly mounts have been installed. Now you can see this is a 1/4-inch steel. Everything, all the alignment cams, everything is just backed, reinforced, welded. You got this huge brace that comes along that kind of acts like a cradle. It keeps the whole thing together. Now, when we install control arms back into the truck, everything is gonna be moved forward. So let's say your factory pivot points sit in this location. Well, this kit allows it for you to move everything forward. So we're gonna set up the suspension by moving lower control arms forward about 1 inch, maybe some more. We'll see what we can get out of this. Now, what's the benefit of all that? So besides all the strength that you get from this kit, particularly from here, like this stuff is way thicker than stock. Like stock is just like an 1/8-inch steel. This is a 1/4. It's like double the size. So you're gonna get a lot more strength. So if you hit this thing on rocks, if you send it, if you jump it, like this is not going anywhere. This is a lot stronger than stock. So all this work is gonna allow you to get better clearance. Now we're gonna put 40-inch tires. Now, just to kind of take it to the next level, this is a 40-inch Toyo mounted on a work wheel that's been converted to a OMF beadlock, and that's all paired with apex valve. So this is as custom as you could possibly get in modifying a wheel. So now this is a big tire, 40-inch, 13.5-inch wide, a lot of meat. So let me show you what we're doing to make this all work. Okay, so once the suspension goes on, everything's gonna be moved forward. Now, as far as the rest of the truck, kind of give you an idea of what we're doing to make the tires fit. This is the factory Firewall. All this space is gonna have to be made for the 40-inch tire to breathe. So now, we kind of give it a little example here. We put this nice huge window in the truck so you can see better. No, so this is, we cut all this out in order for your tire to tuck in here as a turn. So this is where it's gonna require the most room, because we have a lot of open space here, but we really don't need to do anything. But here, all this stuff needs to be cut out. This is the factory body mount. So this is what holds the body in place from the factory, is this guy right here. You can tell it had a cap mount chop sometime in the past. Now, it's been rubbing on the chop with just some 35. So this whole thing has been removed. So I'll show you an example. So that thing is now trash. We deleted it. Everything's been shaved off and cleaned off. So you can kind of see this is how much room we're trying to get. We're trying to get most of the room. So we literally went through the body mount bolt itself, and we're gonna try something different this time. So rather than just doing like a traditional relocation, which honestly with that, it still has a chance of rubbing, we're gonna set up like another mount that's gonna be sitting off of this sheet metal towards the back. So it's kind of like a next level body mount reload, but this time we're gonna actually weld it to the body itself. So we're gonna offset everything to get all the room possible for this tire to breathe. Now, before we weld all this up, we're gonna have to install the portal suspension, get all your links, everything in place, all your arms, and actually cycle the truck in order to see if this is enough. So I'm hoping this is gonna be enough. I think we'll be okay, but you know, just as a precautionary measure, we don't want to weld this in, just make sure we get actual room. So this side, we haven't done anything yet, and you can see this guy's already rubbing in his factory Firewall. This thing has been beat down back a little bit, so again, we're gonna take it a step further, cut all this out, and make all the room for 40s. So another contact point that we have to address is this guy here. So you can see he's been kissing his front section of his inner fender with his 35. So we're gonna section this piece off and kind of make more room here. So as the tire tucks, you know, it just has more room to breathe. There's kind of never-ending amount of trimming you can do. You know, you can go as far as like deleting all this. So we're still trying to retain the integrity of the chassis and the truck. So we'll do all the necessary clearancing, but I'm sure it still might kiss here and there, but it shouldn't really be a problem on the trail. So if you're in rubbing, you're in dubbing. Now this truck came in with the suspension lift. It has king suspension. So to make this work with portals, we're actually gonna lower the truck with its coilover. So you're getting all the lift from the portals, so you're about getting 4 inches of height there, but it's not really necessary for you to lift the truck with your traditional coilover. So what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna lower the truck probably to maybe an inch or so, and just to have this thing sitting nice and low, just because we got plenty of lift from the portals themselves. So what makes this build particularly a little unique is because it had these camber slapper bumps. So these guys replaced the factory bump stop, and they sat right here. So because we're installing the pivot kit, we're not sure yet, but I guess we're gonna get there and see, but we might need to relocate these guys forward just to make sure as the suspension cycles up, it bumps on the control arm rather than to the side. What are portals? Now, if you're watching our channel for the first time, portal axles is the next hot thing. We've done a bunch of trucks with portal conversions, and link down below, you guys will check out all sorts of videos on portal conversions. So, you know, I'm not gonna go into details what portals are, but you know, as you watch this build, you'll find out. That pretty much covers it for the front. Let's go see what we're doing in the back. We have the factory bed removed. Now, why do we have it removed? Well, it's because Tacoma came with a little weak factor from the factory, and maybe a problem for some, maybe not be a problem for others. I suppose it's something that needs to be addressed. So as we're adding all these suspensions, all these parts and components, we're gonna need to have a nice, strong foundation. So the frame of this truck, particularly in the back, needs to be reinforced. And we're gonna do that with the help of reinforcement kit from Dirt King. All right, what you see here are reinforcement plates for the rear bed of Tacomas. Now, Tacomas from factory, they come with a C-channel frame. So what that means, the factory stamped steel is bent in a C-channel. It's not actually boxed. So it works in its factory form, but you know, we like to take it a step further. So we're gonna install these plates. They're gonna fill all these voids right here, all throughout the rear of the frame to make the frame nice and strong. Now to do all that, we're gonna have to move all these things out of the way. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that's in the way of wiring and such, all the evap system. The fuel tank is gonna have to be removed to make that happen, but once everything is cleaned up and prepped, these things are gonna fit right in and can be welded into place. The front section of this truck does come boxed from factory, so let me show you. From here and onward, it's boxed, so it's nice and strong. It holds all your suspension in place, so we're gonna kinda imitate that with a reinforcement kit in the back. Now this is a factory axle that came on this Tacoma. Fantastic unit, 8 3/4, plenty of strength. We're gonna take it to the next level and replace it with a unit from East Coast Gear Supply. Now this is quite a unit. This is a Dana 60 drop-in axle made for Toyota Tacoma. This is something that you can buy directly from them, get it shipped to your house or your shop, and bolt it up underneath your truck. So everything is made on this axle to work with your factory application. Now everything is bigger in this thing. The tube housing is huge. The center dip itself is massive. Bearings, outers, everything is just big. So once we get this thing underneath the truck, we're gonna install the portal boxes on each side. Last but not least, we're not gonna be putting the factory bed back in place. We're gonna be putting a unit from Dirtbox Overland. Now, Dirtbox, company out of Colorado, they make flatbed conversions for pretty much anything. So we're super excited to be a dealer for them now. As you guys know, we have some vehicles in the shop that have flatbeds. This thing is gonna be getting one as well. So factory bed, adios, new one's gonna be in. So I'm super excited because this is like a new product, and you know, I've seen these guys around and the quality is top notch, tons of options, tons of way to modify the thing. So we're gonna slap this thing on top, and hopefully it's gonna have all the room that we need to clear 40s. Let me actually show you this box. I think it just got delivered. So something to consider about this truck is it's a 22 Tacoma and it has 3,000 miles on it, and some people can say like it's already been built. It's got a suspension, it's got 35s, it's already been re-geared, and half of that stuff we're taking off and replacing with something else. So, oh, it also has a Magnuson supercharger. 3,000 miles. So yes, the truck does have 529 gears. To make work with portals, because you get a 22% reduction with portal axles, we're actually gonna re-gear the truck again to 430 ratio. Now, 430 ratio, that's something that comes in a manual Tacoma, and there's no aftermarket company that makes them. So your way to finding that gears is either getting a used set out of somebody who re-geared, or see if you can call Toyota. I know that's been kind of challenging getting that set. So luckily this guy was able to source a set from another truck. So we're gonna throw those gears in and make it work. Now we're at our shop yard. This is where projects either come to live or they come here to die. So hopefully it's the first option. Anyways, this is the bed that we pulled off. Like I said, this truck was built. So if you look in the back here, it had a bedside chop, high clearance bumpers, pretty much the work. So yeah, all this is gonna go, and we're gonna install this guy right here. All right, guys, this is what came from Dirtbox in Colorado on the big, huge pallet. This thing is so cool. I mean, I know you can't tell much, but let me at least show you this detail on this bed. So looking from the back, this thing looks pretty cool, man. It's kind of got this robotic vibes going on. So recessed tail lights, the whole center section. There's a big drawer. So this is gonna pull out. This is where you can put your recovery gear, your spare parts, or whatever else. We opted for just a flatbed option. This thing can be outfitted with a canopy, half size, full box, whatever you want. So we'll keep it super clean with this one. It's just it's got a headed crack with some drop down sides. Dana 60s kind of weathered and turned, so we got a couple of sets here. That's a cruiser that I built 10 years ago. This is like my first 3-link project, so I don't know if some of you guys remember. This is the Hippo 80. Now this thing's been parked here for a while, and don't at me in the comments, but this thing is no longer mine, so who knows how long it'll be here. Now this thing is pretty cool. It was traded for a gun. That pretty much wraps up for this video. This is part 1 of this build series, so follow along as we take this thing to the next level. Is that cool?
One of the guys, yeah.
Working on this thing right here.
This is the guy.
Yeah, right here.
He makes it all possible.
What are you working on, Adam?
I'm gonna get some reload.
Okay. Oh, that guy right there.
Yeah.
So this is the one that we're gonna glue on instead of the factory one, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's it.